Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV for your daily afternoon stream. We hope everyone is doing well. I'm joined by Ziad today as we bring to you the latest. Obviously, it's international break, and Chelsea are not playing football for a while, which maybe is a good thing because of the recent results and games we've played. But yeah, there's still a little bit of news to go through. Of course, as you guys may know, it's come out yesterday that Chelsea will need to raise funds in order to buy a striker. So we may be a sell to buy club from here on, which is going to be unusual and new for us. But it's a new model, I guess. Things are new, regime's new. So we're here to talk about that. Make sure you like the stream. It helps share it round. For those of you who are just joining, make sure you smash the like button. Ziad, mate, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Listen, it's an interesting time at Chelsea Football Club right now. Everyone's got different opinions. Reports
Yeah.
coming out, saying we need money. We don't need money. Are we going to get top four? We're not going to get top four. Maresca out already and whatnot. It's an interesting time to be a Chelsea fan.
It's
And
always an interesting
you know
time.
what I mean? I was just about to say it's like this time every single year. There's a
Yeah.
problem. There's Graham Potter, Pochettino, Lampard. Now Maresca. Now we need money. Now get this clowns out, get Maresca out, get Clearlake out, stop buying kids. I don't know why every single year, every April, every May, we've got the same issue. But I think we're used to it now, man. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Never a dull day, like even in the
Never.
international break, there's always something to talk about.
Yeah.
Obviously, like as an England fan, England play tomorrow. That's literally the most exciting thing to see Thomas Tuchel manage England
It's
tomorrow.
weird.
So I guess I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, interesting times again. Like as you say, there's always something going on. But the striker situation, it's almost kind of lost its power in a sense. I feel quite numb to the term striker because Chelsea seem to be so ignorant about that position in the last years, and we seem to be practically on our knees every time for one. And although it seems like the club reciprocate that, and they hear it, it seems to just be neglected for the next window. And it's almost like every time we're sold a dream of which striker we might intend to buy. So I kind of even find it hard to believe that this is like the top of our to-do list. Like, what do you make of the fact that, yeah, okay, it seems like we need a striker every time, but it just gets thrown over to the next window? Like, do you actually really believe in your heart that Chelsea will go out and buy a striker this summer?
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I think clearly.
Actually, can I rephrase that?
Yeah, go on.
Actually go and buy a good striker over the age of 18.
Yeah, yeah. Listen,
Yeah?
Clear Lake and Win Stanley and all them, they've been given a lot of, they haven't been praised a lot for. I think their scouting has been okay, and I think some of the negotiations clearly haven't worked because there's a reason Osherman is a Galatasaray player, not a Chelsea player. But I think we
Mm.
we can't sit here and say they haven't had the intention to go out and actually get a good striker, or any striker. Osherman they've clearly been wanting and followed for a long time. They just failed to get him. So I'm not worried or concerned whether we're going to go get a striker or whether that striker is going to be an 18-year-old from God knows where. But I'm confident we're going to go in probably again for Osherman, most likely, because that guy is not staying at Galatasaray. Let's be honest, he's not staying there. Whether that's Jokeres, whether that's anyone else, it might even be Liam Delap, which people might have to come to terms with. But I'm very confident that they will go in for an Osherman or another elite striker. It's just whether they can get it over the line because from what I understood and from the reports we were reading in the summer, Osherman was basically 1 foot away from joining Chelsea.
But
Literally one
mate,
step.
they always are. Apparently, they always are a foot away. So what happens? Does someone chop off that foot as soon as it crosses like
I don't
the
know.
door? Like,
I
what
don't know.
actually happens? Because like Osman was a pursuit all of like last summer, and it kind of was a case where the pursuit started at the start of the window, nice and early. We were in talks, but then something kind of happened. It was put on hold, and then all of a sudden, we were fighting for our lives on deadline day to try and get him over the line when it was like we all knew too well it's a complex transfer. It's a difficult one to make. How could you possibly leave it to deadline day? And then we signed Sancho, and obviously that was a whole thing. But it just seems like of course, like I believe that the pursuit is there and we are going to go in for one. But it's just like, how serious and how capable are we? Because I worry that every single window we become less and I don't want to say less like magnetic in terms of we don't have player pool, because I still don't want to believe that. But in terms of the direction we're headed in, do you not think that, bringing in an actual established out and out number nine might be quite difficult? Because I think still, like, that's what we want, that's what I want, but I don't think necessarily that's what the owners want, because they still would like to go down the route of bringing in a striker who has a bit of flair to him, like you like that word, don't you? But could also develop and progress with the squad. So it's all about kind of molding that player into maybe becoming like a future £100 million striker or whatever. Like, do you think we could actually go for someone more established, or is it just again going to be someone that is a bit of potential down the Nicholas Jackson route? What do you think?
I mean, I would be very surprised if we went down that route again, because we've got
Mm.
Jackson who could improve. We've got Gooey who can improve. Even Gooey's actually showing good signs for an 18-year-old. So we've already got that in our
Do you think
in our
he stays? Do you think he stays?
no chance. I don't think so. He's not going to get any game time. He's not going to get
No.
any game time. Like I don't know if he would even get game time now, even if he wasn't injured. If I'm being honest. So listen, Chelsea have done a lot of wrong things, and they're very keen to go that get the young players and get them established, trying to establish them. But I think in certain positions you've got to say like no, they want ready players. If you look at in the right wing and the attackers, we went in for Elise. You know, he's not really he's someone that was very capable of playing week in week out and probably being one of our best players. But then you could say yeah, but we also went for Barcola and Due, so you could say it's a flip of a coin. But I think I'd be very surprised if we went from going all summer trying to get in Osherman to now you're going to get another 20-year-old. I mean, it just people clown this project as it is. I clown the direction we're going in as it is. It just screams not having a clue what you're doing. So if you go from one of the best in the world to going up and getting another 18-year-old or 20-year-old, whatever it is, when we already got, he's not going to come in and be better than Jackson, unless it's a Liam Delap. You know, he's probably the only one I can say that's going to be younger than Jackson that's going to be able to come in and take his spot. If we're being honest, any other striker in the world, I don't see would be good enough to come in and take Jackson's spot, who will be younger than him. And like we said, we've got Guri, he's already there. So, and he's a very good striker. So we don't need another 18-year-old or upcoming one. We need someone that's going to come in and easily start over Jackson. Easily. Because Jackson is a good player, but he's not the striker Chelsea need. You know, he does everything but score a good goal. You know, and then at the start of the season, we all thought he was, he changed that. You know, he was the one that's got good finishing, different kind of finishes, consistently scoring. But then throughout the season, it turned back to the old Jackson, being good to link up play and good touch and driving at players. But when it came to the final third, he wasn't good enough. So we need someone that's going to come in and completely take his spot with ease. Whether that's Osherman, Gyökeres, I'm not really bothered. I don't think there's a player out there I'm like, yeah, 100% bring him in. I think whoever the club going for, as long as it's probably an Osherman or Gyökeres, I don't think we can complain, because we're very good to complain and very quick to complain. But if they're going in and getting Gyökeres and Osherman over the likes of, I don't know how many clubs will want a striker this summer,
A lot.
a lot. Unless we're going in for maybe even Isaac, whatever the people want to call him. But yeah, I don't think we can complain too much if we end up with one of the best strikers in the world. If you look at how many big clubs need a striker.
But that's the issue there, and to circle back to the original point about if we do actually need to be raising funds to go in for a strike, then that means outgoings are going to be a priority. Does that mean that we're maybe going to be behind then in the race of going and pursuing a striker, because a lot of clubs are going to be in for one? If we're kind of lurking around trying to facilitate outgoings, and we're going to be trying to make a profit off them as well, based how good that has gone is still a big question mark, because obviously a lot of the players that will be considered for sale, can we really say they've bumped up their market value this year? I don't think so. And obviously that's going to be a big thing. We know that this is part of the new model. We do want to generate a profit on these players, so like we could be in trouble, because again we could find ourselves lurking around this transfer window, going in for maybe this player, that player, being linked and having links left, right and centre as we always do, but also trying to negotiate deals with selling some of our players to generate money and then going in to buy whoever we wish. Like, that could be a problem.
I don't know how much I believe the reports of that we need money to buy a striker. I think Listen, Bolig, Barley, the people that they've got behind them, they're I don't see us thinking, oh no, we need to sell, I don't know, Felix or Disassi on a permanent or whatnot to be able to get a striker. I don't see that being the case. I think it could be easily journalists looking at how we haven't made top four in a while. We need top four money and whatnot to be able to go in and get a striker. I don't believe that. I think we're fine financially. We're going to go into the Club World Cup. I think that in itself is going to give us a good amount of money. We'll probably still end up getting top four, even though it might look unlikely. We'll probably still end up getting top four. That's going to be a bit of money, you know. And naturally, Chelsea are good at selling, so we're going to naturally sell players, probably as soon as possible in the market. So yeah, I don't believe that report. I think it's just journalists going on trying to get some clicks because that's what they do. Chelsea, a lot of lies are spread, and Bowley called them out. He called them out. He said there's a lot of lies being spread about Chelsea and false comments. So yeah, I don't believe that. I think Chelsea financially, I'll be very surprised if Chelsea need to raise any funds just to buy a striker or buy certain players. No, I don't believe it.
No, it's a fair point. It's just my concern is more about, again, selling players, because I know that a lot of the players and even some of the like some of the values that we price them at are just so ridiculous. Like the fact that we want to sell Nkunku at 65 million. That's what we priced him at, when Nkunku's barely had minutes. He has pretty much just been playing in the Conference League. He's only just getting Premier League minutes because of injuries up front. But again, it's like you're not going to get that much money for a player of his profile, or a player that has had as little game time as he has. There's nothing in there that has boosted his value as a player. So it's like we're going to just go and waste our time trying to negotiate these deals that are just not going to happen as we wish for them. So I think in a lot of these deals, and we can talk about individual players, we're just going to have to cut our losses. Like, it's as simple as that. Yeah, we didn't really go and overspend for a lot of these players. Didn't cost that much anyway. Like, I'm talking about the more recent ones. However, still, you're gonna have to cut some losses. So maybe that kind of profit raising that we're envisioning isn't gonna quite happen as we envision it. Like, maybe look at a Dewsbury Hall, for example. Are you gonna make a profit on a player like Dewsbury Hall?
Not profit.
Mm,
You might get the same amount, but I don't think
Same
that's profit.
amount, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's not that great, is it? You look at Ben Chilwell, like how much would he, for example, go for? You look
Yeah.
at players like, I don't know what's going to happen to like Mark Gee, but you look at Nkunku, like you look at certain players that will probably move on. And I think one thing, you go back to the transfer window and the owners kind of first came in, might have been the summer after, where we kind of had so many outgoings and a lot of players went to Saudi, and like it was great business and we love that look. But again, those were players that we had to offload, and now it's simply just we're going and selling players that we envision to be part of the long-term project, and they no longer are, right? So come this summer, it's almost like in a way we do have to not completely restart, but we have to still go and sign a fair bit of, again, I'm going to say young talent because that's the route they're going down. But it's like, are we just going to again overlook the glaring issues and, like the glaring holes in the team that we need, and the leadership and the experience that's missing? Like, what do you think about that? Like, are we actually going to go and sign some experience this summer, or is it just not going to happen again and we just need to forget about it?
I don't really buy this experience hype that Chelsea are in the position we are in now because we've got no
But what
experience.
do you mean, Ziad?
What is this experience hype? Like, I'm
But
sorry.
experience, like
Okay,
what
well, look at our
experience?
team right now. Let's just say the defense. Cucurella, what is it? His third season in the Premier League, or fourth even maybe. You got Colwell, who's his second full season in the Premier League. He played at
You're
Brighton.
not gonna tell
Like,
me
I'm
Cole is
being
an
serious. I'm
experienced
being
player.
serious. I'm being serious. These lot have been here in the Premier League for 3+ years, each of them. Fofana has been here for ages. Gusto is like his second, third season. You got Caicedo is like his third season, maybe. Enzo's been here for a little. Like these, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Sancho, let's not talk about him not being experienced. Pedro Neto, is he not experienced? And Kunku. So what is this thing that we've got to have John Terry in our team or Frank Lampard in our team? Like, these players don't come up easy. Like, every single my question. Where's our Michael? Where is anyone's my question? Where's everyone's my question? I'm sorry. You look at that Man City team. I'm trying to think of their experience. De Bruyne, who never bloody plays. Who's their experience? That you would say, yeah,
Well,
give
they've
him,
had
give me in this
Gundogan,
team.
they've had Bernardo Silva. Like, these players have had experience in those
Who?
positions. Huh?
Who did you say?
Bernardo Silva, that's
Right.
still experience. Gundogan went and came back, that's still experience. There's
I
certain
think
players there though that
is that gonna
maybe
make
don't
such a
look at Manchester
drastic change?
City, but look at Liverpool, for example. Liverpool are a prime example of
Yeah,
that.
Liverpool are
Like
the only example.
a blend of experience and a blend of players coming through the ranks. That's
Liverpool are the only team that I would say, yeah, I want some of your experienced players.
But again, it's like experience. Define that. It's about being with a team. It's about longevity. It's about a CV where you've maybe won stuff or at least competed for stuff at a high level. And yeah, again, you signed Enzo Fernandez, a club, a World Cup winner, which is absolutely amazing. But he was 21 when he won it, right? So again, he came off the back of a great tournament, but that was his first kind of, again, break, if you'd like to say. A player that has obviously won something that massive is going to go on and of course develop more, but that doesn't mean that he's the finished product. There's a lot more that comes with experience. And then when these players were dropped into a team and in an environment where everyone's kind of new and has had maybe a year or less than a year in senior football, most of them have maybe played academy football, most of them have played in leagues, let's not fool ourselves here, much lower quality than the Premier League in other leagues. So they were all kind of dropped into this team where they all had to kind of learn on the job. So everyone's kind of grafted their own experience. So even the players that you mentioned there, I wouldn't class Levi Colwill necessarily as an experienced player, because you can still see that he really needed that guidance of Thiago Silva, to bring him in to a team to like kind of evolve his own skills, unleash his potential. And even still, you look at him and you can say, well, he certainly does still need a lot more to grow, to experience. Like someone here has said, Luke, I'd bring up his comment. Would you have said Sterling Koulibaly and Aubameyang were experienced? You probably would say yes, and I actually would say yes to that, because again, Sterling came in winning 4 Premier League titles when he came to Chelsea. Koulibaly, again, he was more of, I guess, a senior age, had some more game time in his position as pretty much more than 3/4 of our defenders currently. Aubameyang, again, a Premier League kind of proven forward at the time when he came in as well. So certainly I'd say yes, experience. But again, it comes to a point now where it's like a lot of these players are, looking to learn from someone. And even like, Joe Cole said, it's very important, right, to have players there on the pitch with you that you can learn from. So I get your shout. Cucurella, certainly you can now say, has a more extensive CV, certainly in the Premier League. Had it at Brighton, developed it at Chelsea. He's only like kind of grown, but that's also a testament to his own like development as a player, because obviously there is a great player in him, and now having more time at Chelsea with things kind of, clicking a little bit more for him as an individual, yeah, he's definitely developed that experience. But I certainly think, Ziad, like, it is so important to bring it in, and just to have like, imagine we had that one kind of, imagine we had Thiago. I genuinely think Thiago Silva would still be doing a job for us. But how important it is to have a player like that at the back, very, very important. That's why most of our young defenders looked half decent playing alongside him, because it's very easy. It's like you put anyone next to Van Dijk, of course they're going to look better. You put a youngster, like, for example, at Kwanzaa playing at the back in that Liverpool back line, he only got better because he was playing alongside experienced players. So I do think it does a lot for a young player that's just coming through the ranks. So I disagree with your point that it's not that important. Not that you said that, but I disagree that it's not something that we need to look at adding more of, because instead we're going to go and add more young talent, more unproven players, more what ifs, more hot and cold players. And what does that do for like longevity? Like you talk about Essien, that is literally such an issue, because if you look at anyone in the team right now who remotely resembles anything that these players we mentioned, like Lampard, Terry, Essien, in terms of like longevity, having a player on the back of your shirt that you will look at in 10 years to come, and you'll have fond memories of them. You'll like remember great things about them, because most of these players will probably move on next year, the year after, and they won't be Chelsea anymore. So it's like,
Felix, man, come on,
Felix. That's an issue. It is an issue.
No, we got Joao Felix, man. That's the player that's going to be here for Joao Felix.
Here we go again. No Joao Felix chat in this stream today.
Listen, all I'm saying is that I just don't think it's a reason to why we're not getting top 4, or why we're struggling to get top 4, or Maresca needs experienced players. That's why he's not able to get us top 4. Nonsense, rubbish. I'm not having it. Okay, there's no way in hell I'm having this experience talk as a reason to why we don't get top 4. Is it good to have experience? Of course it is. It's very important, and it can help the younger players, these little babies who are on 100 grand a week and need 50 billion games and so many good players around them to be able to perform. It makes me sick. But yes, it's important. But I'm not saying I'm not having the experience. The reason behind us bottling top four yet again is because we don't have experience. It's not good enough for me. The manager's got to perform. The manager will get the best out of the players, and what he's got in the summer, should we go and get some experience? Yeah, if we can find some. I don't know who we're going to buy. That's everyone's looking for. If you've got players in our team that have been here for a couple of years playing Premier League football in the first team, then I mean it's quite hard to go out and get something better than that, unless you're going to go and slap up I don't know who from a AC Milan or Inter Milan, a very expensive player that's going to be very hard to get, because that's the market right now. All these players that people talk about, let's go get someone like a Lampard or Osimhen and Terry. This is not the time for it. This is not the generation of it, because it's just difficult. It's difficult, and it's always been like that. It's always been like that. I remember watching videos of people talking about on Rashford when Rashford was coming up, and he goes in the changing room at a 20-year-old, and he's just got a bunch of clowns around him. Who's he supposed to look up to? He's not. There's no experience in that team. Whereas in the olden days, like 10, 20 years ago, whatever it was, when you've got a, I don't know, let's say buddy Ronaldo, when Ronaldo was at United, the guy was like, oh my God, look at these professionals around me. He had all that Roy Keane scores, etc. around him. That's not the time for it anymore. This is not, unless you're going to name, probably one or two teams. I say probably Liverpool is probably the best one out there, when you've got Alisson and Van Dijk and Mohamed Salah, and even when they had Henderson. But that is just not the case for a lot of teams right now. That Man City team is Pep's team that's built it. He's built that experience in that team, winning them leagues and that. But I'm sorry, they bought in Haaland. That wasn't really experienced. Jack Grealish, maybe. That centre back they just bought in January. Omar Marmoush, Miles playing in the German league.
But there was some consistency, though. There was some consistency in terms of their output and what they'd produced.
Yeah, because they were winning.
Yeah,
because they were winning, man. Because Pep was making them win. The experience comes while learning on the job. You don't necessarily always have to buy experience. Maybe you just build a good enough team that gains you experience while you win.
But that's infrastructure, isn't it? You've got to have that at least to start with, and then whatever additions you make, they only kind of develop your. I can hear feedback. Is my audio okay?
Yeah, your audio is fine.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, no, I hear you. Different times, obviously, but we know crystal clear that our model isn't really going to change. So this is just the route that we're going down now. But I don't know, like the fact that like we talk about incomings now, you talk about the youngsters that we've just signed and we've spent a lot of money like Quenza and Asugo. I'm literally not even going to pretend like I know anything about these players. However, it does really nothing to me to just know that we have more youngsters coming in. Don't get me wrong, I've heard they had a great CV, but again, I heard that about lots of players that came to Chelsea. So I just can't really get excited about youngsters like that anymore. However, someone has said audio's not great. Apologies, guys. I'm just gonna Ziad, you chat, and I'm gonna sort my mic out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if your mic was. That should be fine. No, can you still hear it? I think it's fine. Let's go keep going and see if they can't get. Well, I think it's fine.
Okay. Let us know in the chat, guys. I think I can see my feedback coming through now. We're such pros, guys.
This is quality stuff, man. There's no issue. I don't think there's an issue. Big up nil. No issue. There's no issue. Anyway, one thing I will say is the 2021 Champions League team. What experience was in there until really Tuchel came in and won us that trophy? I started winning us trophies, and all of a sudden, Callum Hudson-Odoi is classified as an experienced player. But Mendy in goal. I don't even know where that guy came from. He came in Rennes or something. I think a year before he won the Champions League, he didn't even have a club. Chilwell came from where did he come from? Leicester, and you got Christensen, Young, Thiago Silva's fine, Rudiger, cool, Azpilicueta, but the rest is like, a lot of it was like Timo Werner was up front, Kai Havertz was up front, right? A lot of that team came from experience from Thomas Tuchel coming in and winning us a lot of trophies, But like I said, of course, you look at that team, you say Azpilicueta, to be fair, even a Kante maybe, but But even Kante, but Kante just had a lot of seasons in the Premier League, but he was just that good. So no one cared about his experience because he was just that good. But a lot of the time, and I think people got to come to terms with it, that you got to build your own experience within the team. You got to buy players. You got to win. Yeah, let's say Aya. I respect Aya. Aya's a top G. He said the audio is fine. He just got a bunch of wind ups in the chat, man. Big up Aya. Yeah, you got to come in. You got to come to terms with the fact that you got to build your own experience and build your own success in the team, and not go out unless you're gonna go out and get the best of the best. But who are we gonna go? You're gonna go get Theo Hernandez from AC Milan. You're gonna go. I don't know. You're not gonna buy. That's gonna say yeah, coming straight. That guy from Inter Milan centre back. I can't remember his name. It's just going to be very difficult, very difficult. So I think we've got to come to terms with that. And no way in hell are we sitting here and saying, yeah, top four Maresca, it's fine. You don't get top four because we haven't got any experience. Rubbish, nonsense. Get top four, get packing, mate.
Yeah, I guess. But when Tommy T came in, he had a very, very clear system, and the players were thriving in it, at least.
Well, this guy's been there for how many months? Where's your system?
There you go.
Well, don't let me talk about Maresca because Maresca is on my nerves now. Yeah, Bastoni, that's it.
Bastoni, yeah. Well, you're right. No, I can still hear feedback, Ziad. This is annoying me now.
We can't hear anything.
I can literally hear my own echo. At least, as if the sound of my own voice isn't as annoying already. I have to hear it twice.
If you want restart. If you want to refresh.
Yeah, I'll leave you to it, mate. I'll be
Yeah,
back
that's
in.
fine. That's fine. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Bastoni. Yeah, that's the thing. Bastoni's not leaving. Bastoni's not leaving anywhere. He's not going anywhere. None of these players are going anywhere. All these players in AC Milan, Inter Milan, all these big clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona. You're not gonna go and get the experienced players. You're not gonna go and get these experienced players. And you look at Man City, the Chelsea team. You had experience, but how many of those would you actually say is experience? What? Aspilicueta. Was it only Aspilicueta in the in our 2021 Chelsea team that won the Champions League? Was it only Aspilicueta? If we're being real, who else was there? Other than that, these players are not these players weren't experienced. You know, or Thiago Silva. But even Thiago Silva came off injured. The guy came off injured. But okay, let's ask a simple yes or no question in the chat. Yeah, simple yes or no question in the chat. Simple yes or no. Jorginho? Nah, man. Oh, what's going on here, guys? Jorginho came from Napoli. No, you guys are rude. No, I'm sorry. No. No. I'm not having these players. No. Rudiger. No. We're back in business.
I think so. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I think it's gone. Let us know in the chat, people. This is the reality of streaming. Sometimes it's not all pretty. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Apparently, the experienced players.
Champions League winners in the chat.
Yeah, experienced players. Apparently, we had was Rudiger experienced? Really?
Rudy was. Do you know what the thing with Rudy is? He brought so much in terms of not just his footballing ability, but his character and his personality and his presence on the pitch. Literally compensated for so many players that didn't have half what he did, and that was just so special about him that he brought so much footballing ability, personality, characteristics, bringing the team up. And he was just that player that if you're down in a knockout game, like flashback to Brighton, if we were in that knockout game or we were losing 2-1 to Brighton, Rudiger would have lost his mind, said, pick yourselves up, pull your socks up, and actually go for that equaliser, because we're not going out, not crashing out the FA Cup like this. And just to have those players like Ziad, the standards is just below ground. This is all I ever wish for Chelsea. I want a player that's like that. Give a little bit of grief to opposition, bit of a wind up, someone that's just going to bomb forward, try his luck sometimes. So yeah, Rudy brought so much more to the team than just his solidity at the back and the absolute unit he was there. But Kante, you talk about Kante, really, really obviously Kante full stop, don't even need to explain that one, no justification needed. Silva, we've already talked about, like what Silva brought to that team, what he brought for years to come after winning the Champions League as well. Um, and yeah, like just these players that, of course, really tied everything in. And I don't want to be rude, but a lot of our players had a lot of personality, much more vocal on the pitch. Different days, but you can certainly see the nervousness in a lot of our current players now, and you can see that kind of overthinking at times because they don't have half the confidence that those players that we just talked about did. So, of course, like when it comes to these big decisions, big game players, they're not always going to be that, right? Because again, it's like that lack of, again, will bring up the word experience and that lack of kind of self belief. If you know you've done it in the past, you've got a CV to back it there, then of course you're going to believe that you can do it again. But when you come into a club under so much pressure to deliver results, to get back into Champions League football where there's expectations and they are non-stop, that pressure gets to you. It certainly does, and not every player can handle it. So that's also where the kind of inconsistency comes from. Because how many times do we talk about our players being hot and cold? Oh, there it is. That's the potential there. Oh, it's gone the next game, or we can't develop, can't do much. And like we have too much of that to a very big degree, like a very extensive degree, where it just means that like players hit a wall, they can't really pick themselves up sometimes, and players of the past would. So again, there is also that element to it. But you know, football is a very demanding sport, especially now in this day and age. Like there are expectations from obviously management, fans, you know, those up above in senior positions, your own teammates as well. So there's a lot of that pressure. So certainly from like a 22-year-old, no matter how much money you're making a week, you're human at the end of the day. Of course, you're going to have moments where you know, you're just like, what the hell am I doing? Or like, what am I supposed to do? Pick yourself up, mate. That's the thing, isn't it? It's bizarre to think.
Bunch of babies, man. Get on with it.
Ziad's like, shut up, get on with your
serious.
homework, stop complaining. Right. Okay, well, let's talk about a certain trophy that's coming into Stamford Bridge. It's actually already there, guys. I'm just going to try and share my screen so that we can have a look at this beauty.
Why they ruined the trophy?
Right, let me just share my screen with you.
What made them change the trophy?
Huh?
Why did they change the trophy?
Well, why did they change the trophy? Here we go, guys. The Club World Cup at Stamford Bridge. We'll be competing for this one, of course, come this summer. Can we see it permanently in the locker room, in the trophy room at Stamford Bridge is the big question. To be fair, it kind of looks like a spaceship a little bit, doesn't it?
Click on the picture itself. Click on the picture itself. Now, what is that? What is that? Why did they ruin it?
Everyone in the chat, let us know. Do you like the look of the Club World Cup trophy? To me, it really just looks like a planet. It looks like a bit of a planet with a ring around it. I'm not very good with my science.
I don't think I even want to win it anymore.
It's going to take up a lot of room in the trophy cabinet, isn't it? It's a very big kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's growing on me a little bit.
I mean, if you compare it to the old one, it was. And so what? So that's going to be there tomorrow for people to go and take pictures.
Yeah, so if anyone is in London and if anyone is keen to go, yeah, so tomorrow, Friday, I think I do know the time of this because someone sent it into the chat, but it's going to be there available for you to take a picture with it. And yeah, just have a look at it.
Don't go.
Looks like Saturn. This is the one I was thinking of. I was thinking about which planet looks like that. But yeah, it will be there, guys. I think it's at 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Oh, it's on Saturday, actually. So Saturday, the 22nd of March. It will be there 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if anyone cares, if anyone would like to see it, that's where it will be. But yeah, it's an interesting one.
Don't go and take a picture with a trophy we haven't won yet. That's embarrassing. That's not cool.
Well, you might never see it there. So.
Well, we don't win it then. Why am I taking a picture with this trophy we haven't won yet?
Because it's about the memory of competing for it, Ziad.
We are Chelsea, Nina. We are Chelsea. Okay, we have seen Champions Leagues, the proper Club World Cup, you know, Premier Leagues, and then you go to the stadium or the store or the mega store, whatever, and you do the tour and you see them properly because you've won them, and you see the players lifting it and whatnot. And I'm not going and taking a picture with a club or a trophy that we have not won yet. I am
Oh
not
my
asking or begging for trophies. That is
god.
embarrassing. That is not happening.
Look at
Okay,
this
that is like
one.
Arsenal fans coming to Chelsea to take a picture with the Champions League. Nah, mate, come on,
There
man.
you go. You've got Mr. John Terry there with the.
What that is? Why is that trophy so big?
Oh my
Man,
god, when you look
I
at
beg
it
you
like
zoom in.
that,
I
it
beg you zoom in.
it's actually massive, isn't it?
Can you zoom in on it?
Wait, hang on.
Oh,
Yeah,
that cannot be right.
hang on.
Why is it so big?
Oh my god, John Terry looks so small next to it, doesn't he?
Yeah, they've ruined it, man. What the hell, man?
It kind of just looks like it just does look like something out of space, doesn't it? It looks like something to do
Oh,
with astrology and like
compared to what we used to have. Oh, thank God we won it when they had the proper trophy, man.
it looks quite, I don't know. Is it like this is really like messed up my mind. Is it actually like that? So that the Club World Cup bit with obviously the engraved writing is a circle, but then what's the bit inside of it? Is it like it's like a diagonal? It's like an oval or something.
I don't know.
I
If you
actually can't tell.
compare it to what we won, that's what you talk. That's what I'm talking about. A proper trophy.
Yeah, but that I think they just wanted to be a little bit more different because that one just kind of looks like the Conference League and the Europa League a little bit. So maybe they just wanted it to be a little bit more different, I guess. Maybe it resembles a globe because it's like the Club World Cup.
Whatever. Let's just go and win it, man. When is this starting?
um, July. Wait, I don't know. I actually don't know. In my head, I forget we're competing for it. So let's have a
I think
look.
it's July.
But do you know what the really bad thing about this is? We literally will have no time to reset before the season starts because obviously City are in it as well, aren't they? And we just have to go straight into season.
Crimea River, man. They earn enough money.
Oh, you are honestly, Ziad, you're gonna be like that parent that just tells you to suck it up and get on with it.
Man,
Like
I don't care.
nothing is
Nina,
cutting it.
Nina, Nina, I don't care about these millionaires not getting holidays. I'm not bothered. I'm not
But it's a
bothered.
trophy that we could win.
Yeah,
Does
win
that
it
not
then.
excite you?
No, win. That's fine. But I'm saying they're not gonna have time to reset and have a break. Forget your break. Forget your break. You've been on break for the whole year, basically. Not even being able to get top four. What the hell?
Hey, but we can still get top four.
Yeah, get it, and then you might be allowed to have a break.
Oh
That's
my
nonsense, man.
goodness. Well, no one get on Ziad's wrong side. He does not
15th of
care.
June. 15th of
Absolutely.
June.
Jordan said it looks like a planet, like the moon.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There's actually
Aya
some
says
big
we're
teams
not
in this
winning
Club World
that.
Cup.
Give me Champions League football and let's move on. Yeah, well, that's oh, there you go. What have you got to respond to that?
No, we have injuries as it is anyway, so it's fine. We have to deal with them anyway.
Not really. We've
Well,
actually
Lavi
been quite
hasn't played
fair.
since 1945, so I mean, who else we got? You know,
I mean, look, honestly, the injury card is a cheap card to play this year. It's not cutting it. Yes, we've had key players out, but we've also had one of the most stacked up teams. Yeah, it was reduced with the January loans out, but realistically, we didn't have a starting 11 out like we did last year under Poch out, so that's still yeah, there you go. Lavia obviously and Reece James until he was back, but overall it's not been as bad, and certainly other teams in the Prem have had it a lot worse than us as well. So,
I mean, even Jackson's only missed a few games.
oh, it starts in June, the Club World Cup.
15th,
We play on the
yeah,
16th, our first game.
15th
Yeah,
of June to the 13th of July.
yeah,
So is that
quite a
is that
long
the
tournament.
Copa America?
Yeah, yeah. Alex will be there, guys. So Alex will be bringing a lot of content from the Club World Cup in summer. So you guys have that to look forward to if anyone,
There's a few big teams in
cares.
there, you know.
Hey,
A few big teams in there.
yeah, a few big
Real
teams.
Madrid,
You'll get to see.
City, Juve.
I mean, we'll play teams that we'll never ever play otherwise, and it's a good experience. It's a good experience.
Yeah, experience.
Ziad, there you go. That's
Yeah,
going to be giving them experience. But
but it's in America, no?
yeah, it's in
So our
America.
game, the games are gonna be at like 4 a.m. or whatever,
Well,
3
yeah,
a.m.
the times are going to be quite crazy, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But again, it just gives, if anything, if you look at it from a bright side of things, it gives the players more time together. Thiago Silva's obviously going to be in there as well. Are we facing Fluminense? Are we not? Are we facing Silva's team? I don't think so. Maybe in the later stages if we get further in, but I don't know. But still players to look forward to playing in the tournament. But anyways, yeah, that's the summer problem. Before summer, we have to qualify for Champions League football. We have to win a Conference League. So there is still business to do until that time comes. Well, let's talk about that for the rest of the show. Obviously, we have a break. Is international break gonna come good for us? Do you think?
Don't think it'll make a difference. I mean,
Wow, yeah, I'm really trying here, mate. You're
the
just
only
like,
the only positive, I guess, is that we're gonna get certain players back from injury.
mm,
That's about, but I mean, I find it hilarious how everyone's crying for Noni Madueke now. I've seen a whole apology of Noni Madueke on Twitter. Why is Noni Madueke going to come in and fix all our problems?
no.
Like, let's be real here. This fan base just is hilarious. But listen, Maresca's got to sort it out. Because I'm not. Listen, I don't know about you, but I don't know why everyone's making so much excuses for this guy. And then you compare it to what they said against Poch, and they say, "Yeah, but last year I should have known better. I should have criticized the board more." No. It's rubbish. If two people are doing the same thing, they're making the same mistakes, they both get blamed for it. Not last year. Oh yeah, it was the owners more. We should have blamed sporting directors. Poch, I'm sorry, I should have blamed you that much. No, Poch was an idiot, and he effed up. Same way Maresca is doing now. Simple as that. You got to get top four, otherwise you got to get packing. And then the sport directors as well. If they fail to, if we also fail to get top four, they have to go as well. Because I'm sorry, I think their scouting is quite good. I think they scout good players, but I just don't think they know how to hire a manager. And if you're going to fail to hire a manager 3 times in a row, then you got to go. And that's up to Bowley and Iqbali and whoever has to make the decision on whether they want them to sack them or not, because you can't be failing this many times.
Mm,
They're too new to the club to be failing this many times. But yeah, we got a lot. We got hard fixtures coming up. Our fixtures are not easy. They're not easy
no.
towards the end. So listen, the pressure is on. You talk about pressure. The pressure is on, Maresca. Your job is on the line, so act like it. I stop shaking Timber's hand when he's literally laughing at your face.
Oh, that was a hard watch. That.
And I got, but yeah, there's too many. I'm not a fan of all these excuses that Maresca's getting. Or Jackson and or Madueke and all the experience and sport director. Like, listen, we sport directors have got nothing got to do with the way Edo Maresca is playing his football. Nothing got to do with it. Because
Mm,
when we were start the season, when we were playing good and everyone was fine, no one was talking about sporting directors or they've got to go. Or, no, everyone was saying, "Wow, look at Maresca." Because at the end of the day, the way you perform in the season is between the manager and the players. Nothing got to do with the sport directors. If you're going to sit and tell me that the squad's not good enough for top four, then you can blame the sport directors. But I'm sorry, you cannot sit and tell me that this squad's not good enough to get top four.
no, I agree. I agree, and certainly this year you actually get more leeway to secure top four without playing your best football because of the quality of the league and the teams competing for those Champions League spots this year. So it certainly could be enough. I think, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But my concerns lie for the further kind of future, if you like. We stick to Maresca. I'm not too sure how much really his system is going to benefit us, even when we come to play our, Champions League games. But again, that's a worry for the future. Just get us there anyway. But yeah, no, let's just have a look at the fixtures that we have coming up. So CFC Daily here has put this up on Twitter saying, so 17 days off, obviously, till we play another Premier League game. So obviously, international break. But games left, we have Spurs at home. Right, shall we go, Ziad, let's go through these fixtures and say whether we get 3 points or not. see how many points we can actually collect from these games. Should we do that?
Yeah.
All right. Quick fire then. Spurs
Yeah.
at
Win.
home. 3 points?
Yeah.
3 points. Okay. Brentford away.
Loss.
Really? Defeat?
Yeah. Yeah.
And people in the chat, by the way, get involved in this. So let us know. Spurs at home. That should be 3 points, right? Big W against Spurs at home. Everyone get involved. Okay, Brentford away. Ziad, you said that will be a loss.
Yeah.
It's tricky, that, isn't it? It's a tough game. It's one that's troubled us as well previously
Yeah.
in the last couple of years. To be fair, we beat Brentford at home, but that wasn't really a convincing performance. Actually, that was the beginning of our downfall, that game, because after we went on to lose, didn't we, to Fulham and Ipswich, of course. So that was kind of the beginning of the fall in that tough period. I think that will be a draw. Then we move on to Ipswich at home.
Yeah. Win.
Surely that's 3 points,
Surely.
right?
Yeah, probably hope so.
Yeah, truly that's 3 points. How about Fulham away? They cannot do the double over us, surely.
Oh, Fulham
Or
away.
can they?
I'm gonna say draw.
You're going to say draw. I actually
Yeah.
don't think that's outrageous. Although I would like to think we could get a bit more into a momentum there if we win against Ipswich, get into that Fulham game, hopefully pick up a little bit of form, trusting that we have players kind of back to full fitness. We should have enough really to beat Fulham. No, I mean on paper yes, but again,
You just don't know what Chelsea's going to turn up. Is it
no.
going to be a Chelsea that's going to know what they're doing, or is it going to be a Chelsea that just could play sideways football
Mm,
and look like a bunch of clowns?
yeah. Okay. So, Tem here thinks it's a loss against Fulham. Aya says a draw. Guys, we need some more confidence. James says not if Sanchez is in goal. Well, we already know he is going to be. So, right then, how about Everton at home? We're literally going through these fixtures. We lost to all those three teams.
Yeah.
So Everton feels like a loss anyway in my head because that was just awful. But Everton at home win, surely.
Yeah, I say we can. Yeah, Everton at home will probably win, but it's just now this is where we get. I don't know if we win a game here, or if we can get 1 point.
Well, that's the thing. In this run at the beginning we've gone through, this is where we should be picking up points because in the next ones, it wouldn't even be outrageous to not pick up 3 points in those 4 games, right? Like, let's be real. Liverpool at home, you never know. Maybe because at that point, they're Premier League winners. They are maybe, I don't know, maybe they've kind of, what's the word, out of steam a little bit as well, especially with how much pressure's piled on with their recent exits in tournaments and their loss in the cup final. So maybe they could hit a bit more of a complacency that they've won the league and just chill out a little bit, be on the beach. That's what I'd like to tell myself. Could we have a good go? Arguably, we played a good game at Anfield earlier this season. Not a bad performance. And in hindsight, playing like that against the league leaders was actually a good thing. What do you think? Am I delusional?
No. Yeah, we're not. Liverpool are slapping us. You see, Liverpool, Newcastle, Forest. Forget about it, man. 0 points. United probably a draw. So listen, Spurs, Brentford, Ipswich, Fulham, Everton. Realistically, we've got to win all of them because listen, Liverpool no, Newcastle no, and Forest absolutely not. So
I don't remember when was the last time we won 4 games on the bounce though? Like with those three.
well, this is stuff you got to do to get top 4. This is the stuff you got to do, man. And then listen, just don't lose any of them. Just don't lose at least. Just at least draw against Brentford.
Newcastle away will be tough. That will be a really
away,
tough
no
game.
chance in hell. Forest away. So Forest away is our last game of the season.
Yeah.
Our last game of the season is usually always at home. What's that about?
Well, there you go. Aya agrees. Maybe we could actually get something out of it, even like a little draw. Nick a little draw against Liverpool. Not so bad.
Yeah, no, man.
Yeah, but Newcastle away, that's going to be tough. I feel like Newcastle right now have this injected life into them after their final. They're going to be on this dopamine high, and deservingly, fair enough, big up to them. So they're going to be flying through the remainder of the season, just wanting to impose themselves against every team and just fire away. And they knocked us out the cup. Arguably, I'd say they could have beaten us at Stamford Bridge as well. That game could have gone either way. They weren't very clinical that day. So, again, easily could have had the win against us then. So, probably they do a job against us away from home. But yeah, I have no confidence. For that one. Man United at home. I guess this is the fixture that can frustrate you at any point, any form you're in, any part of the season. We always say, oh, it's a great time to play United recently, and we still just cannot beat them. Well, apart from obviously our emphatic 4-3 win at Stamford Bridge, which was one of the best days ever. However, should we really be that, given the form they've been in, their league position and everything, you'd like to think that we can maybe get something out of that one. But then again,
No,
history says otherwise.
no,
Let us
absolutely
know
not.
in the chat, guys. Do you think we could beat Manchester United? Penultimate game of the season, maybe.
Um, it's gonna be a draw.
Great,
We always,
one
because we
written all over it.
well, because we always draw against United. It's
Yeah, we
always been a
did.
draw against United.
Mm.
Always. So, I mean, listen, man. If we don't get Champions League football, I need to see us in the Champions League, man. I don't even care if we don't even make out the group stage or whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays. I don't know what's going on in that competition, but I just need us to be in the Champions League because how long has it been now? Would it been this would be the third year in a row?
Yeah, third year out. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, technically, because we crashed out, obviously under Graham Potter, didn't we?
Yeah, listen.
So it'd be 2 years. 2 years, yeah. But
It
yeah,
feels like
no, that will
15.
be, huh?
Feels like 10 years.
I know. It does feel that long, doesn't it? No, I literally still remember saying I'm going to that Real Madrid game if it's the last thing I do, because God knows when we play Champions League football again. And yeah, it was very, very accurate. And then, okay, the final day, Nottingham Forest away. Nottingham Forest, they could be in the Champions League. Will they be?
Yeah, possibly because how bad the season is. I don't know how these are going to be in the Champions League.
Wow. I mean, what
What's
a
going on?
season. I really truly felt that Nottingham Forest would just run out of steam towards the end, but fair play. Like, Nottingham Forest, like, I just have no words. I mean, I was annoyed about that draw, but in hindsight, after seeing what they did to some of the top teams in the league this year, fair enough. Yeah, like, a draw was actually a good result for us then, but maybe we could get another draw. Who knows?
Yeah, Hudson's always going to dunk on us.
Oh, goodness
Hudson
me.
Odoi, man. Big
Hudson
up Hudson
Odoi.
Odoi.
Yeah, Hudson Odoi is going to remind us that recruitment in the winger department was just flawed in every way. Oh,
Yeah.
and how much did we actually upgrade? But yeah, goodness me. Well, hopefully, guys, let us know in the comments down below if, of course, Chelsea will get a Champions League spot. If you haven't hit the like button on the stream, guys, please do. We are currently on, let's see, 33 likes. Can we get to 40 at least? That would be very, very much appreciated. But yeah, no, we absolutely need to finish in a Champions League spot, and we can. Honestly, with how things have been in the league this year, it would be a very big letdown if we don't, even with Maresca ball. But now that Lavia's kind of back, and obviously Reece James stays fit, arguably Cole Palmer coming back as well. Obviously, we'll see what's happening with his kind of scan, and that fitness update will come out soon. But international break's actually a good thing right now because it gives him some time to rest and get better. But he could be crucial come the remainder of the season. So actually, we're probably looking at having a nearly fully fit squad after international break. So really, no excuses, right?
Let's hope it makes a difference because apparently that's going to make the difference. You know, people talking about Madueke and Jackson. We didn't know what we
But
had, but
look,
they're all
it's
saying
more
get rid of
about
him.
it's more about depth and choice, Ziad, as well, more than anything. Look at our benches recently; they've been, no disrespect to the youngsters, but very poor.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Well, listen, I'm here for it. Listen, I don't want us to not get top four. I don't want us to not
No, of
perform well.
course,
But I
yeah.
just I just think that I don't know if it's going to make a drastic change. I don't think you're going to flip a switch and all of a sudden we're going to start playing good football and play the way we did at the start of the season, just because we've got Jackson and Madueke coming through, 2 players that no one wants in their starting 11 next season. So
Whoa. Hey, let's not forget Jackson had a top kind of combining like goals and assists with Cole Palmer. They were in like the top 2 this year in the Premier League at the start, so
yeah, but
don't
no one
forget
wants him
that.
next season.
Huh?
No one wants him to be a starter next season.
Well, look, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And Madueke, definitely no one wants him as a starter.
But
So
you know,
we're
you say
relying
that
on
about
2
Nicholas
players that are not going to be
Jackson.
even our
But in
starters next
terms of
season.
how many goals is Nicholas Jackson on this year? Obviously, he's been out since the end of January, but how many goals? Let me just have a look while I get this up, because Nicholas Jackson. Come on then. There he is. 9 goals and 5 assists. Just one behind Delap, actually. 1 goal behind Delap.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to that?
No, it's just the 9 goals. Congratulations, mate. 9 bloody goals.
But true. However, again, you know, he's not been playing in the last few
Osimhen or
months.
Gyökeres, who come next season, should have 9 goals by October.
Well, should, yeah, on paper. But I remember with how Jackson was playing, people were predicting him to get 20 goals this season.
Because we were off our heads. That's why. The guy
But
fooled
why
us.
were we off our heads, Ziad?
Because he fooled us. And Maresca fooled us. I don't know what this guy happened to him. How do
It
you go from
wasn't
playing good
Maresca,
football?
mate. I'll tell you that, it wasn't Maresca. It was all those players. That's what it was. It was all those players hungry to play off the high of proving themselves, playing for
Yeah,
fans
but
who have
that's from
been
Maresca,
deprived.
though. Maresca's the one that said, if you don't perform and you don't train well, you're not playing. That was from him.
And then what happened? He went on to play Sanchez and pick him as number 1 again.
He went from talking shit in the press conference. That's why. And these players were like, "This guy's a clown.
Well,
We're
maybe
gonna
he
walk
was
all
told
over
to
him."
hush, hush, and lower the talk.
Yeah, maybe just answer yes or no for every single question. Just say yes or no. That's it. Because honestly, he started off when he started saying rubbish in the press conference and lowering standards. That's when the players started dipping in form. It's not rocket science. And when he came in and started setting proper standards, that if you don't train properly, if you don't perform properly, you're not playing. All of a sudden, every single player was playing their heart out and wanted to play next week. We were playing good football and we were winning. It's not rocket science. But when you're talking rubbish in the press conference and lowering our standards, and then they're looking at the table, they're like, yeah, look, oh my God, it looks like even if we lose the next 10 games, we still may be able to get top 4. They're going to start taking the mick. They're not going to try. I'm sorry, bro. Like, it's the moment Maresca started lowering his standards in the press conference was the moment the players stopped performing. I called it out at the time. I said it on my channel. It was not rocket science. Because at the end of the day, people want to talk about the sport directors. They want to talk about the owners, this model. The way you perform during the season is between the manager and the players. It's between the manager and the players. And the manager is the one that set the standards, not the club. The club do not set the standards. The manager set the standards. And the players feed off what the manager says and the way he acts. And it's not rocket science, man. It's not rocket science.
No, I agree.
I've been in the changing room and I've seen my manager basically lowering standards, being like, yeah, whatever. Look, we're doing well. We might get top 4. We might not. The club don't want me to get top 4. I don't know if I want to get top 4. I'm going to be like, bro, cool, safe. Let me collect my paycheck. If we win, we win. If we don't win, we don't win. Whatever. Cool. It's fine. That's the mentality a lot of players have. So, no, I'm talking about. That's it. The owners don't set the standards. Don't get that into your head, Aya. The owners do not set the standards. The manager set the standards between the players. The owners could say, I want to win the Champions League. Okay. But then the manager goes in and says, no, guys, let's just get top 6. Who do you think they're gonna listen to? Who do you think the players are gonna listen to?
But of course, the owners and of course the sporting directors make choices, and the manager is appointed based on the ideologies and the values.
Right, but by the way, the owners did not want to say we shouldn't get top 4.
But again, you surely don't think that Maresca doesn't just vocalize what's coming from up above?
No. My point is, the owners never once said that you should not be getting top 4. We was reported all summer that the next manager coming in after Pochettino must get top 4. It's a must. It's a must, 100%. He has to. But Maresca started talking rubbish in the press conference, making out stories, and then changing his mind 2 weeks later, saying, "No, I didn't say that. I never once said we shouldn't get top
Surely
four."
you don't believe that the hierarchy that has gone back and forth with their own decisions and has
I don't
contradicted
think they have got
themselves
back and forth with their own
seasonally.
decision. I think Maresca's
Yeah,
just
why
talking
do we
shit.
always leave the juiciest part of the conversation as soon as we hit the hour? Guys, if you want a sequel to this, let us know in the comments. And
Me and Nina
Ziad
will
and
sort
I
something out, man. We'll sort something out. We'll get a stream going, man.
we'll get
Because
a stream going. Yeah,
this is
like
getting
Lewis
heated,
and
man.
Alex's. By the way, everyone, check out Lewis and Alex's Maresca debate. That's uploaded on the channel. Ziad and I might need to do something similar. Get the
Yeah,
weapons
man.
out. Sit down. You guys get your popcorn out, and we're gonna have a big chat about this one because
Yeah, man.
quite a juicy topic. But anyways, we'll leave everyone to that. You'll get your evening stream, guys, tonight at 8 p.m. Tune in for that if you'd like to hear some more. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV. Mine and Ziad's channels will also be linked in the description, so make sure you go and check those out for more Chelsea and football content. Take care of yourselves, guys, and of course, see you soon. Thank you very much for watching,
Proper
guys.
Charles, man. Proper Charles.